There is no shortage of amazing characters from this franchise. Today I'm counting down my top 10 most favorite characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender. For this list, I will be considering all characters from the Avatar series. Coming in at the 10th spot, we have Avatar Kyoshi.
Hey everybody, Avatar Kyoshi here.
We're first introduced to this Avatar in the 4th episode of the 1st season, and again later on in the 2nd season. Kyoshi was the oldest of the Avatars, living to 230 years old. In her long life, she formed Kyoshi Island, started the Dai Li, and killed Chin the Conqueror.
But you didn't really kill Chin. Technically, he fell to his own doom because he was too stubborn to get out of the way.
Personally, I don't really see the difference.
Sadly, other than her notable accomplishments, we don't know much about her, which is why she's so far down the list. Taking the 9th spot is the Fire Nation Princess Azula. She was favored over her brother by her father, and was the prime example of power hungry. Many believe she was sociopathic. Others just think she wanted somebody to be there for her. She is known for her blue fire and pugnacious relationship with her brother Zuko. Despite her violent past, fierce personality, and cutthroat attitude, Princess Azula can also be looked at sympathetically, knowing that the reason for her instability comes from a soft spot, created by fear of nobody loving her. Ultimately, her downfall came when she was finally defeated, and she realized she was alone, driving her to insanity. Following in the 8th place, we have Ty Lee. From the very first time we see her, she is a bubbly, bright, and talented person. We first meet her when Princess Azula is gathering a team to find her brother. Later on, we find out that over her time in the circus, she has learned a special talent. She became a master of the non-bending skill chi blocking, allowing her to hit her opponent with a few quick jabs and paralyze them for a short period of time, leaving them bendless. In the beginning of Season 3, we get a look into her personal life, learning that she has 6 identical sisters, which led her to run away and join the circus in fear of spending her life as part of a matched set. In the end, Ty Lee joins the good side, teaching the Kyoshi warriors chi blocking, and eventually becoming one herself. Next up, taking the 7th spot, is everybody's favorite warrior, Suki. We meet Suki early on in the 1st season, when she ambushes the Avatar and his friends. Living on Kyoshi Island, she is the leader of the Kyoshi warriors. We don't know much about Suki's past, but we do learn that she doesn't let anybody underestimate her just because she's a girl. She is a skilled warrior who has trained for many years in the art of stealth. In the end, she plays a key role in the defeat of Fire Lord Ozai. At the 6th place, we have Prince Zuko.
Hello, Zuko here.
Starting out, he is the gang's #1 antagonist, always trying to capture the Avatar to restore his honor. But he wasn't always honor crazy. When Zuko was younger, he lived in the palace with his father, mother, and sister until he spoke out at a war meeting and was forced to duel an Agni Kai. Little did he know, he'd have to duel his father. After being left with a nasty scar covering a large area of his face, he was banished, forced to hunt for the Avatar. This turned him into a detached, almost cold-hearted person. But with the help of his uncle, he was able to see his wrongs and correct them. Following the invasion of the Fire Nation, Zuko leaves to join the Avatar to teach him firebending and help him defeat the Fire Lord. In the last few minutes of the show, you see him become the Fire Lord and promise to restore the honor of the Fire Nation. He also becomes a lifelong friend and ally of the Avatar. He deserves his spot in the top 10 simply because he has the greatest redemption arc I've ever seen. We're halfway there.
Finally!
Coming in for the 5th spot, we have Toph. We were first introduced to Toph when the Avatar sees a vision of her in the swamp. When we finally meet her, we find out that she is a 12-year-old girl who is completely blind. She learned earthbending from the Badger Moles, the original earthbenders. Going against her father's wishes, she runs away to teach the Avatar earthbending. While in Ba Sing Se, she is captured and put in a metal box. After being taunted by her captors, she quickly teaches herself and ultimately invents metal bending.
Woo! Toph, you rule.
During Sozin's comment, she helps take over a Fire Nation warship and takes down a fleet sent to burn the Earth Kingdom to the ground. She is a prime example of young, but strong. Number 4, everybody's favorite tea-loving kook, Uncle Iroh. Iroh is the Fire Lord's brother, but he is known as Zuko's tea-loving uncle. When Prince Zuko was banished, Iroh left his life behind to travel with him so he wasn't alone. The thing that made Iroh so loved is that he always knows what to say. Whenever Zuko would rave about honor and destiny, Iroh would come by with his wisdom about how his destiny is his decision. Iroh may be lovable, but he is not one to be messed with. He is one of, if not the most, powerful firebenders that ever lived. Not only is he a master, he has a deep understanding of all the elements, and is one with the spirit world, making him even more dangerous. Nonetheless, he is one of the most loved characters in the entire series, and his wisdom helps many people every day. Taking the third spot, we have Sokka. When the series first starts, they depict Sokka as a sexist and immature boy.
Wait a second, there's no way a bunch of girls took us down.
But as the show progresses, his character develops into a strong, sophisticated warrior. He rights his wrongs he made in the past and becomes one of the show's favorite characters. Despite being a non-bender, he is not one to be toyed with. By the end of the series, he had mastered every non-bending fighting style. Growing up in the Water Tribe, he already knew how to fight like and with Water Tribe weapons. Then when traveling to Kyoshi Island, he learned the way of the Kyoshi warriors. He then learns the way of the air nomads, not by flying himself, but by learning how to use flight to defend himself. Finally, when the show is nearing its end, he meets Master Piandao, who trains him in the way of the sword, traditionally belonging to the Fire Nation, but later becoming a fighting style that has no single nation. During the show's finale, Sokka played a key role in the end of the 100-Year War. After the comics, we don't know much about what happens to him, but we hope he got to live out his final years happy with Suki, eating all the food he could ever want. Coming in at the second to last spot, we have Katara. At the beginning of the series, even with no master training at all, Katara has raw bending talent. She finds the Avatar accidentally, after breaking an iceberg while in an argument with her brother. Katara, Sokka, and the Avatar travel to the North Pole together, where they meet a waterbending master who teaches Katara the skills that led her to becoming a waterbending master. Throughout the series, it is proved that Katara is not somebody to be messed with. She taught herself how to heal, and she learned the chilling ability to bloodbend. In the show's finale, Katara ends the final Agni Kai by using her bending to chain Azula down, preventing her from bending. She ended up being one of the most powerful benders in the entire show. Finally, in the top spot, the #1 most favored character of Avatar is Avatar Aang. He was able to defeat the Fire Lord while he, Ozai, was in his prime, during Sozin's Comet. He ended the 100-Year War by not killing Ozai, but by learning how to energy bend and take his bending away. He is #1 because he was able to master all 4 elements, the Avatar state, defeat the Fire Lord, and end the 100-Year War all in 3 months. While starting off as a childish, playful kid, he was able to mature and become the hero the world needed. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comments below. As Kuzan would say, stay flamin'!